we're actually going to get a recap from Lamont about a concert that he did last week. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it to Lamont Brown.
Peace. Thank you, Ephraim, and happy birthday, Kingston. So this past weekend, super excited. We did another Steam the Block party. So I'm still rocking my shirt here, Steam the Block. This is a program that we do that uses digital arts to teach about science, technology, and math. So we had some amazing speakers. We heard from engineers, doctors, scientists. I'm going to play a video really quick just to give you a taste of what we learned. We also did some cool experiments, and we even got a chance to hear some of the new STEAM music. I actually just dropped an album that teaches physics and space science through hip hop. So we had a lot of fun, and we're definitely going to be doing it again. But I wanted to share just a little bit of what we saw this past Saturday.
Hello, my name is Dr. Nehemiah Mabry, and I am a structural engineer. Every day, I design, analyze, and sometimes inspect bridges, the bridges that our cars and our trucks drive across every day. It's my job to make sure that they are built correctly and that they continue to be strong enough to carry all of the weight and the loads that go across them. See, sometimes the loads are live loads, so they're moving, which is our vehicles. Sometimes they're dead loads, as we call them, which is the weight of the rails, the concrete, and all of the beams that exist in these bridges. So this is what I do on a daily basis. But I didn't start here. I actually started school in college where I began to study engineering at a school called Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama. Oakwood is what we call an HBCU, a historically black college and university. And I enjoyed my time there because I studied two things. I studied applied mathematics and also civil engineering. Civil engineering was a field that I went on to get a master's degree in from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. After I got my master's degree, I decided that I wanted to continue on and become an expert in a certain area of study. So I went all the way on to North Carolina State University and I got a PhD. When I finished my PhD in structural engineering and mechanics, that's how I began to be known as Dr. Nehemiah Mabry. Now, check this out though. Before I was designing bridges, I was actually designing other vehicles, other structures at a place called NASA. NASA, I enjoyed my time at NASA because what I was doing there was looking at space vehicles, spacecraft, and seeing how we could put sensors inside of them so that you could tell whenever they were getting weaker, whenever they were deteriorating. This was really, really important in my time, not only at NASA, but even now as a bridge design engineer, has been eye-opening to say the least. I've learned so much about how science, technology, engineering, art, and math is like a set of tools. It's a toolbox that we can use to solve problems that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. And not only problems that we encounter today, but problems that we as humanity will encounter and experience for years and years to come. And so, the last thing I want to share is that even as I'm working as an engineer, I have my own digital media company called STEM Media. STEM Media uses the tools of STEAM not only to encourage people to solve these problems, but to help you learn how to understand these concepts as well. That's how I STEAM the block. Swaliga, baby.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So, yeah, we had a lot of cool things happen, and we're actually gonna replay the broadcast. So I'll be sharing that info with Mr. Ephraim to make sure you can see that. A lot of cool experiments and things like that that we did as well. So that was the Steam the Block party.
So I don't know Dr. Nehemiah, but I already like Dr. Nehemiah because my son's name is Nehemiah. I have two sons, and I didn't say that I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist as well as
Ronald, I just see you.
And I help community prevent chronic disease. through movement and through information about how to eat healthy. So I do a lot of things for the community, but what I wanted to share is October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And did anybody know that men can get breast cancer? Did you know that? Did anybody know that? But men can get breast cancer. The important, did you know that, students?
No.
Yeah, so men can get breast cancer. So what we want to do is just during the month of October, talk to people, look at different activities, and most importantly, do self-checks. That's so important because cancer is one of those things that everybody has in their body. Did you know that? Everybody has cancer cells. Cancer is a cell, and that's the cell that got really angry and mad about something. So it goes around collecting other cells. So we want to make sure that we do our exams, we do our checks, and we want to make sure we check it out. But there are different theories about how cancer happens and how it comes about. Nobody knows. So that's something that you can look at as a student that you want to do research and you want to see about how to cure cancer. Another field that you could look into is, again, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. So I deal with helping you stay emotionally sound. That's another field you can look into. You have to do 4 years of college and then a master's and then get a license, just like an architect. So there's so many different fields that you can look into that you can do. And right now, my work is really important because so many people are feeling not secure with us being in this great unplug, this great timeout is what I'm calling it. And with everything going on in the world, we want to make sure we reach out. If you're feeling sad or if you're feeling upset, there's so many resources. There's something called the Teen Line. In that Teen Line, you talk to other teenagers about how you feel and if you need help. So I'll put that in the chat, but that is a resource. And I'm always a resource to share and let you know. So just want you to know that Breast Cancer Awareness Month is in October. So please talk to your family about it. Maybe being family members that may be experiencing cancer, but it is something that can be helped if you detect it early. So you want to find out early and before it happens. The other thing that I want to share is our dental health. Our dental health is so crucial to our overall health that you know that your dental health can be something that will cause you to have heart problems. Did you know that? If you don't brush your teeth properly, if you don't floss properly, your dental health can cause certain other health issues. So it's so important to understand.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dental health is so important. It's important to floss, it's important to brush, and it's important to do something called tongue scraping because there are lots of toxins in the mouth, and how we clean the mouth is by rinsing it out. It's a method called oil pulling. It's an Ayurvedic method, an Indian method. And that method is said to pull toxins out of the mouth because it's said that you know that a human bite is worse than a dog bite because there's so many toxins and so much bacteria in the mouth. The other thing is really important that sometimes they don't say is it's important to brush your teeth before you eat and after you eat, because what happens is bacteria loves to work together. So when there's more bacteria, it can stay more. So if you brush your teeth before you eat and brush your teeth after you eat, that'll be helpful. So
Awesome. Thank you, Yogi D. And that about concludes our session for today. Again, thank you to Carrie and Judy for that wonderful presentation. Shout out to Rice Architecture. Thank you to you all for tuning in. Are there
yes.
any last minute questions or comments about anything that we learned today? Anything that we talked about? Anybody have any questions?
Is it possible to be immune to cancer?
Well, we don't know yet. There's a lot of research out there and we don't know. We don't know how we get it. We don't know how we stop it, but that would be a great thing to look at researching and maybe studying because it's still a big mystery to all of us. People have theories, but we don't know yet. So maybe look into studying that and doing some research and helping to find a way that we can cure cancer because it's so much in need, and there's so many people that are being impacted by cancer. I do a support group for cancer, and I even have an internal medicine doctor that has cancer, and she's in my group. So no one's immune, no race, no ethnic group, no gender, nobody's immune as far as I know. So that's what I know. Thank you for the.
Yeah, that was a great question. And thank you for answering that, Yogi D. A lot of research still needed to be done on that. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to Yogi D to close us out.
And I'm going to close this out with a quote from an amazing activist called John Lewis, that's now one of our ancestors. And what John Lewis says is, get into good trouble, necessary trouble, and help redeem the soul. And he says America, but I'm going to say the soul of the world. And so let's do that. And if we see something good, say something good. And even if you don't see it, say it anyway. And a smile goes a long way. It brings forth happy hormones to say it's okay, it's all right. And most people can't be mean if you just look at them and smile.